Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So in this video, we are going to be doing Challenge Lab 13, implementing a serverless architecture for the cafe. So basically, our task here is simple but very powerful. We want to create two Lambda functions and a trigger. The first Lambda function is going to be created in a VPC because it will connect to an Amazon RDS, an RDS instance with the cafe sales data. And this instance is in a VPC. So for the Lambda function to be able to reach this RDS, it has to be in the same VPC and subnets as the RDS instance. Then this Lambda function is going to have access to the sales data. Now we're going to create a second one, and this one is going to have access to the first Lambda function. And from there, it's going to access the data that the first one has gathered, and it's going to generate and run a sales report from it. Then finally, we are going to have a scheduled event that triggers the second Lambda function every day. So it is going to send an SNS notification for whatever it is, as we are going to see as we proceed. So let's get to it. You could look at the architecture itself to have a better understanding if that is going to help you. So let's get to it. The first thing is that we are going to be downloading the source code. I've done this because I've done it. So this says to extract each of the zip files and examine the contents. But I'm not going to be doing that here because I don't want this to take too long. This is the question we have to answer because of the extraction. It says, why does the sales analysis report data extractor file have a package folder? Basically, it has the package folder because okay, let's look at the options. I've opened the questions. And it says that the folder contains any Python packages that are used by the Lambda function. Now, this is like a general knowledge. I do not really need to open the folder and then see the package folder. I mean, to extract the file, the contents of the file, and open the package folder to get this. When you find a package folder in a code that is to be used in a file that is to be uploaded as a Lambda function code. This is usually the likely content of the folder. So let's proceed. Now, I want to create the data extractor Lambda function in the VPC. The first one that is going to extract data from the database security, from the database instance. But before that, we have to create a security group for it because for it to be able to access the database instance, the database security group needs to allow inbound traffic from the Lambda function. And this is going to be done through the security group of the Lambda function. So we are going to create a security group for the Lambda function, and then we will reference this security group of the Lambda function in the security group of the RDS. Okay, that sounds very long. But by now, these are things that you should already understand. So go to VPC and then we create the security group as we should. So we'll come to security and then we'll create the security group. We click on security groups rather. They'll create security groups. So the name is Lambda SG because that's specifically stated. We want the validator together. So I'm just going to say Lambda here, nothing too much. Then for VPC, the lab VPC, we do not need an inbound traffic code because we're not getting any traffic coming into the Lambda. So just keep that outbound traffic instead from all traffic to everywhere. So that is the default. We just leave it at that and then we'll create the security group. Oh, yes, sorry. I have a security group with this name already. So I was recording this before and I wasn't sharing my screen. That was a big mistake on my part. So I reset this. I don't know why I'm still having the security group, but there is no problem. Awesome. The next thing we want to do is that we want to reference this Lambda security group in the database security group. So I'm going to open the database security group, and as guest, it is there. I don't know why that is, because when I researched the lab, I expected it to terminate all of the previous resources because I'd gone almost halfway before discovering that I was working without recording my screen. So I'll just pause this and quickly sort that out, then come back. Okay, so I had to go delete the Lambda function I created. And now I think we can continue. So I'll just show you how to do this in case you have forgotten. You open the database security group, you go to the inbound rules, and then edit inbound rules. Then you do add rule, and then you are going to make this MySQL/Aurora, and then the custom. Okay, the source type is going to be custom, and then come to S here, and you select the sorry, that was the wrong one. So you select, sorry, why are you doing this to me? You come to security groups and you select the Lambda security group, and that is it, you save root. But since I already have that done, I'm just going to cancel. So now we can continue. And we're going to create the Lambda function now. So I'm just going to duplicate this page. Recording. So we come to Lambda. And then create function. So we can see the Lambda functions that are used when we answer those multiple choice questions, but don't touch anything, thank you. So create function, and the first one is going to be the data extractor function, the one that is going to access the database and extract the sales data. So the runtime will be Python 3.8. And then the execution role is going to be an existing role, and we select the sales analysis reports DE role. Make sure you are selecting the right role because they have been pre-configured for them to function as they really should function. So now this has been created. We want to configure the VPC. So come down here to configuration, close this, and then you select VPC here. So we'd edit this and then choose a VPC. So we're going to choose the lab VPC, and then we are going to choose private subnets 1 and 2. So this is private subnets 1. This is the name down here. So see, name, private subnet 2, and then private subnet 1. Security group, we're going to select the Lambda security group that we created. And then that's it. So we'll save this. The next thing we want to do is, it says that it's going to take several minutes for the function to be created. So while this is updating, we cannot upload the code. So we'll come back to do the whole of step 12 later on. And then answer. Okay, we can answer question 2 now because it says, why must the sales analysis report data extractor be in a VPC? I've already explained that. So let's see, we must be able to communicate no, it must be able to communicate with the RDS instance. So that is it. I'm not sure I clicked on submit when I answered this. So I'll just do that again. So we'll come back and we'll do the whole of step 12 once this has been updated. For now, let's create the second Lambda function. So we'll click on create function, and this is sales analysis report. Control C. And the runtime is also going to be Python 3.8. Because there is a more recent one, and I actually have the feeling that if I select the 3.12, which is the most which is the latest one, it's still going to work, and I'm still going to get my grade fully because I did have the guided lab anyways. So we use an existing rule, and in this case, we are going to be using the sales analysis report rule. Please do not make mistakes of selecting the wrong roles. Very important. So want to configure the or you want to upload the code now. So say don't worry. Would say upload from good. Why do we have this? Okay, this is I'm going to assume that's the person. So we just do upload from, and then we come to downloads. Remember, this is sales analysis report, not the data extractor, and then save. Oh, don't worry. Please ignore that. I believe that it must have something to do with the fact that I was doing the lab before and I had some of these things uploaded. Just ignore it. You should not be seeing that. So the next thing we want to do now is okay, this one that says description. We want to configure the description, the handler. I think yeah, I will scroll down here. We are going to find the handler. So we'll click on edit, and then we'll copy this. For you to have an understanding of what the handler is, please just read up. I'm not sure how I can easily explain to you that you would very quickly understand it here. So the next thing we want to do here is, okay, this description, memory size, and timeout. To find that, you come to configuration and then general configuration. So we'll edit that. And then the description says Lambda function to something and paste. Oh, the memory is 128, so fine. Then the timeout. So timeout is how long it takes for the Lambda function to run. So you would have, thought of it that in 30 seconds, this Lambda function should have completed the running so that it does not run for an unnecessarily long time. Remember here, you're going to pay for only how long your function runs. So I think we are done here. So we are going to save. Now we'll go back to the first Lambda function that we created, and we're going to complete our configuration because it should have finished updating or whatever it was doing. So click on this, and then remember we skipped the whole of step 12. So okay, that's finished updating. I was scared. So come to code here, and I would say upload from .zip file. So instead of writing your code, because you could write your code manually, you could like copy and paste the code in the space for it. You could upload a zip file instead. So that's what we are doing. Select this and then you upload. Then we'll do the same thing, the handler, the description and all of that. So we'll come here, we'll edit this. And then yes. So the next thing is we'll come to configuration. If your timeout is very short, it's very possible that when you run the Lambda function, it just ends almost immediately. So we'll edit and then we'll copy the description, we'll paste, and change this to 30 seconds. And that's all. Save, my dear. So we are done with the Lambda functions for now. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create an SNS topic. So I'll come here and search for SNS. So the second Lambda function that we created, the one that is going to generate and run the sales report, is going to use this SNS topic to send the report email to the email to email subscribers. So the topic is sales report topic. Next step. So the display name, then that's all. So we're going to create topic. Now we'll go back to Lambda and we're going to update this the sales analysis report function. So we're going to be adding an environment variable. So you come to configuration, you see environment variables here, and then you edit. So we'd add environment variable. The variable name, which is the key, is going to be topic ARN, and then the value is going to be this. So this is the SNS topic you just created. You come over here and you copy the ARN. And then paste. And then save. Please be sure that you are using the right, as in you're working with the right Lambda function, the sales analysis report in this case. Now, so we should go back to the question tab and answer this. So the next question says, could the topic ARN be stored as an AWS systems manager parameter instead of an environment variable, assuming the code could be updated? So the answer to this is yes. What you just have to do is update your code to call the parameter from SSM. It's as simple as that. So that is it. So we've done this. Okay, no, sorry. You want to create the email subscription. So come back to this, scroll down and create subscription. The protocol is going to be email, send email, send email to your client. So I'm going to be putting, I know I'm supposed to do all of those, what's it called? All of those instant mails, but yes, I'm just too lazy to do that. So I'm going to be using my email anyway. And then I'm going to create subscription. So I'll get a mail and I am going to confirm this subscription. Now it says, will you receive an email message if you do not confirm the topic subscription? The answer to this is simply no. If you do not confirm it, you're not going to receive any mail that your Lambda function is supposed to trigger that you're going to get notified. So the answer to that is no. So I'll go now and I am going to I'm going to just update and confirm the subscription. Okay, so I confirmed the subscription. Now we want to test the Lambda function to be sure that it's going to run as appropriately as it should. So what we want to do here, before we create the reporting event, we want to test it to be sure it works correctly. So all you just have to do is, where is it? So sales analysis report, you come to test here, create no events. So I'm just going to say test event, and I'll leave everything as is. Okay, so I'll save. You could just test anyways. So this succeeded. Now I have gotten a mail, so which means that the Lambda function is running properly as it should run. So if this fails, you have some troubleshooting, what's it called? You have some troubleshooting tips here. So it could be that your timeout is lower than 30 seconds. You know, I mentioned that the other time as well, that if your timeout is very short, the function could terminate before it is actually proper. I mean, it completes what it should do. So that is it. The other thing is, you know, it just depends on what error you get anyways. So if you see an error about timeouts, check that the timeout is at 30 seconds. If you see an error about connecting to the cafe database, check the security group and be sure that it is configured correctly. And if you see an error about Lambda function not found, then you could check that you have configured the correct handler. So be sure you didn't miss out any of the two handlers and that you typed them appropriately as you should. So you review and then you, what's it called? You test again. So it says you should go to the submitting your section. Basically, you could submit to see if this, the steps that you have had have been properly followed. So now let's set up the event bridge trigger for the Lambda function. So I'll just come to trigger here and click on add trigger. Now this is the sales analysis report, yes. So the source is going to be Amazon Events Bridge events. So, now we want to create an event bridge that runs the sales analysis report function each day at a specific time. Make sure to choose this. So we're going to create a new role. So the role name would be, let me just say sales analysis. And I'm not interested in this. So we're going to, you could have your rule, you could trigger this function based on an event pattern, or you have a schedule. And so we are going to be creating a schedule. Now, I'm sure that many of us have not seen this cron job something before. So let's look at cron expressions to see what's up. So normally, it is not me that explain all of this. You read through and understand yourself. I have read through and I know what's up and what we are doing now. So I'll just click on cron expressions here. And I'll copy this one. As I said, you really need to read up on this so that I understand what is being done. So we're going to use this one. So this is the one that looks like what we need. want a one that runs every day at a specific time. So I'll just copy this. Copy and paste. Now we're using UTC. And I think when I checked, because this says that you should use a time that is very, very close to your current time so that you're going to get the mail. You just see how it works anyways. So you could really leave it like this and your work will still be correct. You have set it properly. But if you want to, if you'd like to get the mail, you can set it to a time closer to the time that you are doing the lab. So in my own case, 12:27 a.m. I don't know time like that. So I'm going to have to check for the equivalence of this in the UTC. Which UTC is it? Yes. So let me check because I really would like to get the mail and see what it's going to look like. So I'll pause this and come back. So yeah, this is UTC time now, 23:27. And I want to reset this. So this is the minutes. So 27, it should be 28 now because this is showing 12:28. Let me just add like 5 to this, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So I'm going to say 33, 23 here because this stands for the hours. You see why you have to really go and read on this and understand what it means. So I'm going to add. So this has been created. Okay, I think we are done. Okay, we have one question to answer. So let's see what question that is. This says, Frank tells you that he hasn't received an email report in the last few days. What could you do to troubleshoot this issue? This is the first option is restart the Lambda function because it might be stuck. Nope. Update the Python version. Nope. Use the logs from CloudWatch logs and review them for errors. So that's the answer anyways. You don't need CloudTrail logs here. It's CloudWatch logs you are going to use because it has to be something with your function and you're going to get that report in your Lambda function. So we are going to wait till 12:23 my own time to get the mail. So while that is on, we are going to submit to see if this has been done properly. So I'll submit, then I'll come back when the grades are on. So this message actually came in like immediately, so I didn't need to wait. So I think when you create the schedule, you get uh the the first trigger happens immediately. So I got the mail immediately, and the other news is the score is also perfect, which signifies that we have done this very, very correctly. So that is the end. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Bye.